Now, as you learn all of these little tidbits and tricks and all of these coaching cues, none of it means anything. No different than what Andy said, no different than what Mike, than anybody said today, yesterday, will mean anything if we don't create some changes. Now, when Andy said, who wants to make a change in this world, who raised their hands? Hold on, I gotta take a mental picture. Hold on. Okay, relax. Now, as we move forward, there's a couple things that I want you to understand. We talked about that 3P, the persistent pursuit of perfection, and then it went into what? You guys remember? As far as program design, what are the 3 Ps? No. Prudence was the third. What's the first one? You have to have a what? A purpose. So when you're programming and you're trying to figure out what I'm going to do for this next exercise, what I'm going to do for the whole workout, what that entire off season looks like, and what the next 10 years of their life looks like, I have to have some resemblance of a purpose. What's the next one? Practicality. We have to figure out. I would love to push some sleds. I would love to have turf out here. I have some great running drills that involve assisted and resisted sprinting, but obviously practicality doesn't dictate that we do that today. We have to make do. We have to figure out the best case scenario. And the last piece of the puzzle is what? Prudence. Yeah. All right. Now, one of the things I want you to understand is the way you talk to your athletes, what you say to them, the coaching cues you use will determine an emotional content. And you can ask anybody here from tip of the spear, special operations, all the way through highly trained, high-level athletes, that if an emotional cue isn't there, we're going to fail. Anybody can physically prepare an athlete. Anybody. How many guys go to Buds physically prepared to be a SEAL? How many? Every stinking one of them. So why do they all fail out? It's all mental, correct? Correct? So as you're talking to your athletes, be very conscious. What did Tom say about we create trauma and you have a perfect world scenario? Brain-derived neurotrophic factors can drive 2 things, positive adaptation or negative adaptation. So what you say to your athletes will determine the next course of action for them. And so as they try to figure out what my coaching cues are, you need to understand that athletes will fall into 2 major molds. Number 1 is some athletes need to be coached, correct? Coaching is emotion. Some athletes need to be, what's the opposite of that? Guided, trained. And I want everybody to understand, I love my dogs more than I love my son. And understand, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, sweetheart. I'm just joking. Don't go tell him that, okay? I love him. I love you, Raider. But understand, one of the problems that we found with dealing with the new generation of athletes is they need structure. They need to be trained. They don't need to be coached. They need to be trained. They need to be lined up. They need to be told exactly what to do, because without that, they can't develop habits. And if we're not creating habits, we're not making a big enough change. Because every one of us, we're all hoorah-rah after Andy talked, ready to take on the world, but at some point in time, that has to result in actions. That has to result in actions that create habits. Now, what did Mike say? Are we looking for big, huge evolutions where we make these dramatic changes? What are the most effective changes? Tiny ones. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is the part that sucks about our field. It's not sexy. What we're about to do in this workout, you guys are going to be like, that's it? Absolutely, that's it. But do you know how many national championships we've won off of doing the little things perfectly? The little things. And it's hard because I'm going to talk to you about the business of it. It doesn't sell. It doesn't sell. And the only way that you're going to use that as an opportunity to make a wonderful, meaning career is you have to stay in the fight. Because over time, when you start showing off championship rings that your athletes have won, over time, when you see performances start to increase, that is the mantle that you wear, and that becomes sexy. And so you have to take, my first thing that I'm going to talk about is you have to be very cautious of using high-level athletes as your model. And we just talked about that with the swimming community. I've been very fortunate to work with some of the best athletes on the planet. Dion, everybody always asks me, I'll go ahead and nip it in the bud. Dion Sanders is the best athlete I've ever worked with, hands down. Hands down. I couldn't ask you guys to do the same things Dion does. Just can't do it. Any swimmers here? Any amphibians, fish? I can't ask some of you guys to do the same things because Ryan Lochte's ankles bend like this. Everybody put your legs straight out. Straight out. Can you touch the ground with the bottom of your feet? Ryan Lochte can. It's freaking disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Now, he's got double jointed knees. So not only, stay there, legs are straight out, the back of his knees are on the ground, his toes are grossly touching the floor.
More surface area for the kick.
More surface area. He has a whip. For those of us who ever try to swim for any significant amount of time, our kick is just enough to try to keep our legs afloat. His kick is propelling him. And there's a huge difference there. And so my ability to train you as an athlete, as a swimmer, will have to significantly change according to you guys. And the majority of us, 90% of us, don't have those gifts. Now, this is the part where I'm going to break a lot of your guys' hearts here. And I don't mean this as an insult. And understand, I don't mean this as an insult. This, to me, is baking a cake. When you look at performing well, strength, somebody's inability to be strong is never the limiting factor. It's never the limiting factor. And I want you guys to digest that a little bit because it goes along with what I will always say, what holds an athlete from reaching maximum potential, much less elevating potential. I've seen it time and time again. Mental limitations imposed by us, not them, us. Us. Because every one of us, Tex said, we're all hard chargers, aren't we? We got in this business because we love fitness, we love lifting weights, I love powerlifting, I love Olympic lifting, blah, 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 blah. And you take that and you drive it into your athletes. One of the greatest lessons I've ever learned was be the coach that your athlete needs, not what they want, not what you want. Sometimes it might mean not getting stronger in bench, not getting stronger in squat. Maybe it might mean we have to take 2 weeks off and we have to stretch. And if you think I'm lying, I was always fascinated. How many of you guys watched the fight last night? Anybody watch? Disappointing as it was, but it's unbelievable. Now, Tom talked about it yesterday. Martial artists are notorious for it. Kinetic linking, load sharing. But I'll tell you right now, Vasily can probably punch harder than 99% of us in here, even though the most of us can probably bench more than him. But you look at him at this skinny little twig and you're like, there's no way. But that guy will rock you. Anybody know and if you want to go into speed development, yeah, speed development. Sydney McLaughlin, anybody know her? 18 years old. She ran her first race at Kentucky. She's Raider size, maybe taller, probably about 5'10", but built like Raider. She just ran a 36-second 300. Number 2 in the world. Number 2 in the world. And knowing her coach said she is as weak of an athlete as he's ever seen. But what gives her the ability to run that fast? Bryce Love, recently, he was nominated for the Heisman. As a 13-year-old, he ran a 10.7. 10.700. How much do you think he benched? How much do you think he squatted? How much do you think he cleaned? So my point is, and I'm not understand, you need to separate the two and understand our goals as coaches and what we love and controlling our passion and being the coach that your athlete needs, not what they want. Does everybody understand that? So, I want to make a couple of changes to what we focus in on. And so the number one thing that we always talk about is coordination is king. Write that down if you haven't written it down inside your brain already. Because I don't care what your weight room numbers are, if those weight room numbers can't translate to you coordinating a skill specifically for whatever it is your arena, then it's useless. It is useless. And I can't tell you how many times I've had athletes so disappointed because their 500-pound squat doesn't translate into pass blocking better, or another 500 yards running the ball. So your focus as a performance coach is coordination. What can I do to get my athlete to be more coordinated? Because coordination builds skill. And you need my advice to you, for those of you guys, and we've had a lot of questions, a lot of guys saying, hey, I'm working with swimmers, I'm working with preparing guys to go into the specialized pipeline, blah, blah, blah. Get with guys who are coaches and listen to what they're saying. Get with the DB coach, don't say anything, and just say, what is he teaching? And it'll make so much more sense to you. And it'll put things in perspective as you go into how you coach individual things in a weight room. Do I have any questions? Nothing? All right, the last thing before we get going, comfort in chaos. Oftentimes, as hard-charging athletes who become hard-charging coaches, flip that over. The first thing you want to do is create chaos. And how difficult is that to learn? We talk about this all the time. Coordination is putting your ABCs that you learn in a comfortable environment, and then all of a sudden you're going to pair those together to create words, and all of a sudden you pair those to create sentences, and then eventually, if you're gifted enough, they become poetry and these beautiful works of art. But what if I were to take Raider and scream at him, "Learn your ABCs!" Do you think he would love that? Do you think he would get it? Absolutely not. But we do that as coaches. All of a sudden, we put him into this speed con, this metcon, whatever you guys want to call it, and you just light him on fire. And we never did a good enough job doing what techs try to instill, and that's posture and positioning. Posture and positioning. So we're going to try to work on that today. All right, we're going to go through a couple of drills where we're going to start off real easy, and then we're going to see how well we can hold on to it when we light you guys on fire. All right? First things first, we're going to stick with the same model. I want you to find a super friend, find a teammate, got it? And hopefully it's somebody who you didn't work with already. Go. You got 60 seconds now. Now, one of the first things we want to do is create a compensation pattern, which means we can't learn to recompose if we don't initially set it. How many of you guys know how to box breathe? Box breathe. 4 seconds in, hold your breath for 4 seconds, let it out for 4 seconds, and stay there for 4 seconds. That's a box breathing. We use this all the time to find your center, to regain composure. So everybody right now, as you count to 4 in your head, not out loud because it's kind of hard. Count to 4, you take your big breath in, you hold it for a 4 count. Gently let it purge out slowly for a 4. You hold 0 oxygen in your lungs for 4. And let's try to do about 4 of those, please. First things first, we're going to fire up your nervous system. We're going to do what's called machine gun steps. Ben, you ready? Show me your ready stance. Now, I'm trying to get people to understand, because there is a mix and match between athletic stance, what people have traditionally used, to a ready stance. Because again, I want you to find an emotional cue to this. Because a lot of times we mix and match that. But a ready stance says what? I'm freaking ready. I'm ready to go right. I'm ready to go left. I'm ready to attack Rudy like a spider monkey. Whatever it is. All right, now, he's got his ready stance. We're going to run your feet in place as fast as possible for 20 seconds. You guys are going to count for him. Now, immediately, what do we ask him to do? Box breathe. Ready, set, go! 20, 19, 18, 17, 2, 1. Box breathe. Holding, holding, holding. Exhale, let it out, let it out, let it out. So now we did a great job opening up that front line with Tex. You're just going to give me a step out. Where should the knees and the toes face? Forward, and we accomplish that by doing what? How do you control your knee? So what do we do? Yeah, push your butt back. Got it? Get down there and stretch, 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 stretch. And then pull yourself back up to that tall, pretty posture. Play around on the other side. Everybody, give me 4. If we are going to take habits, where do I want your knee? A lot of you guys are driving that sucker so far out that now we are no longer in a single leg ready position. What am I looking for? I'm looking for alignment. I'm going to challenge it with the position that I put you in. But your job, in spite of what I ask you to do, you are going to maintain great posture and positioning. Does that make sense? So a lot of you guys will do, oh, he said get my knee down, but it's a trick. It's a trick, Raph. Go. And I actually would like less reps. Yeah, some of you guys that aren't used to this altitude, take a moment, sit down a little bit. All right, we're going to try to keep it non-invasive. I'm going to have you do a squat, jump, lunge, catch. So now we're super dynamic. Ben, you ready, sir? Yeah. Now, if you're not ready for a high-speed catch yet, you can just turn down the volume. So you could literally just drop, or you can jump and catch. It's your call. Now, just make sure there's rocks. That's high speed over there. I love it. Yeah. That is check, 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 check. That is fantastic. Stand up, shake it out, do the same thing on the other side. All right, everybody, give me at least 4. You can choose to be alpha action, go 5. You're on your own. Make sure you're not going to trip anybody, please. Understand the difference. Why are we asking you guys to land from an elongated back line? Because this plays into what we're going to ask you to do later. One of the common problems when we work backwards on our speed development program, and I will see this with you guys, every time people drive this knee up, in essence, to get the knee up higher, they will do what? No. They'll lean forward. They will try to close this angle off. Whether it's emotional, whether it's physiological, I need to get my knee higher, so I'm going to pull this down. So I want you to work on being here. Long, stretched. Land in a stretch. Finish out your reps. Go. Long, long, stretch, stretch, stretch. All I'm looking for, you guys have to be absolutely awesome because everybody behind you, got it, will follow along. You will lead by example. You can probably fit one more in here. Somebody go ahead and step up there. Now, all I'm looking for, and some of you youngsters won't even recognize this, but we're going to do the Deion Sanders, which is a straight leg run. Now, we use this because I want you to focus on high hamstrings. I want you to focus on your butt. And I want you, the only way to do this well is to be springy. You watch any high-level sprinter, it is a springy action. Anybody who sags in it, everybody who squats in it won't be able to do this. You want to try it for me? Can you do it? Straight leg run, go. Pull, pull, pull. Look at the hair bounce. Got it, that's what it should look like. All right, now when the first group gets past those signs, next group goes. All right, you can stay there. Go, go, go. Springy, 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 springy. Now, when I say springy, where should the springy come from? Ankles, ankles. There's absolutes that exist in this world. As much as we want to sit there and sugarcoat it, vectors are vectors. You're either going to run straight ahead and get to the ball, or you're not. So when I see this, what do you think is going to happen to my force production out the back end? Absolutely. You're either going to wobble. How many of you guys do the whole, that thing? Yeah. So what I'm looking for is an absolute. Get skinny, get narrow, and get on rails. Do the same thing coming back. Now, some of you guys are kicking too far way out in front of you. We're out here. I literally need back, 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 back. Behind you, not in front. Go. Pull. Pull. Woo! Less in front, more backside. All right, big deep breaths. Let's shift gears. Go find your nice open spot. Por favor. Hurry, hustle, hustle, hurry. All right, now, all I'm looking for, I'm going to stand up, put your feet together. There we go. I have a Texas studio. How's your flexibility?
Terrible.
Maybe we should get somebody else.
All right.
I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. All right, all I'm looking for is, your goal is to have about a 90-degree check for your athlete or 90-degree check for your teammate, because I'm going to hold you accountable. So all I want you to do is just bring this knee into your chest, way up there, and then you're going to try to get it over on the outside of me. Sorry, your levers are, there you go. And then you bring it back up without touching me, and then put it down, and then do the other one. And get it over. No. Over, 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 over. Very good. Now, don't do that face. Try to stay relaxed. So as you guys do this, remember, this is controlled but relaxed aggression. Got it? Kick it back over and put it down. Good. Give me 3 to 4 on this side, and then you'll get on the other side for your athlete. So I don't care what leg you start with, just alternate those. Go. Over, over. Keep your knee bent. Keep your knee bent. Over, 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 over. Yep. And then you do it again without touching him. And then just put it down. Let me see the other guy. Now, Rudy, go hands out to the side. Give me your Jesus pose. There you go. And over. Boom, 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 boom.
So do this side now.
All right, just tiny skips in place, but high, high. Way up high. Jump. 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 I'm looking for the fastest switch with the best position. Where are you going?
I don't know. I'm on a decline, man. Decline.
Give me about 10 on each. Then switch rolls. Go. Up. Now, what do you see with the knees? Do it again. There we go. First group, we're going to go high knee skips. And I need you to do this for distance. So exactly what you just did, I'm looking for protect posture, protect positioning, but I want you to cover ground. So I want 6 steps. Don't break posture. Don't break positioning, but I need you to cover 6 steps as far as you can go without breaking posture, without breaking positioning. Go get them, first group. Be awesome. Be awesome. Be awesome. Pull. Pull. Cover ground. So the reason why we put that second, not first, is I want to make sure that we get activation, high hamstrings and glutes, but then we immediately get you out of there with the skip so that you're not going to continue trying to run like that. So now we're starting to drive that knee and toe up. Now let's just turn it into a natural run. All right? Get your head over top. Go get them. Push. Yes, beautiful. Good. You guys will be done. After you get done making fun of these guys, you guys can switch. Perfect amount of time to put this last piece of the puzzle in. We're going to do a short shuttle. So basically, and keep in mind, this is slick. Got it? So we're going to use these as your natural yard markers. We're going to run 2, come back 1, and go. Got it?
2.
So run 2, boom, boom, boom. Go 1, and go. Finish down yonder. Now, the speed of the change of direction is according to your footing. How much coefficient of release you've got going on. So let's be smart.
Which direction?
Got it. Facing the street. Face the camera. Ready, set, go. Smooth. Ready, position. Smooth. Break down, break down, break down. Wide. Very good. Ready? Wide. Wide. Beautiful. Go. Great job, guys. Go have fun with it. Good work.
Thank you.